Hello class, welcome to another video lesson. In this video we will be working on chapter 10 section 5. Let's begin on page 497. Make bar graphs. So the essential question for this section is, how do you make a bar graph to show data? So remember, the bar graph is the graph that looks like it has rectangles or bars, just like the example below. So use the bar graph to solve the problem. Draw or write to show what you did. So here they have a survey done for us with some data. So the survey is about writing tools in the box. So the title of the survey is always going to be here at the top. The categories for this are the number of writing tools. So here we can see that there's 0 to 6 for the number of writing tools. And on the bottom we have the categories of tools. We can have the chalk, the crayon, the marker, or the pencil. So with all this information we should be able to answer the problem. So the problem is Barry made this bar graph. So Barry is the person who did the survey and then created this information. How many writing tools are in the box? So the question is asking how many writing tools are in the box, so the total amount of writing tools that are inside this box. In order to figure that out, we need to add the total amount of chalk, the total amount of crayon, the total amount of markers, and the total amount of pencils. So let's begin by writing down the total amounts to make it easier. So for chalk, if we follow it all the way up, we see it stops at 3. So chalk is 3. Crayon stops at 4, so crayon is going to be 4. Marker stops at 3, marker is going to be 3. And pencil goes all the way up to 5, so pencil is 5. So if we add all of these numbers together, that's going to give us the total amount. These are all the items inside the box, so we need to add them all up to see how many writing tools are in the box. If we add 3 plus 4, we get 7. 7 plus 3 we get 10, and then 10 plus 5 we get 15. So the number of writing tools is 15. Okay class, we are now on page 498, Model and Draw. Abel read 2 books, Jang read 4 books, Kara read 1 book, and Jamila read 3 books. Complete the bar graph to show this data. So here in the example we have a bar graph, and we start by looking at the title. The title is Books Read, which is right at the top. Now the category here is number of books on the left. We have from 0 to 5 number of books. And then the children below are Abel, Jang, Kara, and Jamila. So these 4 students looks like they've been reading some books. So we have Abel read 2 books because his bar goes all the way to number 2, so we know he read 2 books. Jang read 4 books because hers goes all the way up to 4. Now, how many books did Kara read? Well, let's go back to the question and find her name. So it says here on the second line, Kara read 1 book. So we need to draw a bar graph. We need to color in, and it could be any color you like. For hers, we need to draw 1 bar. So we can color all the way up to the 1, since she only read 1 book. So for Jamila, she read, it says on the bottom here, she read 3 books. So we need to color a bar graph that goes all the way up to 3. So we have 1, 2, all the way up to 3. So it ends right at the 3 here. Okay, so we just completed the bar graph to show the data here. So that's the example. Share and show. Ella is making a bar graph to show the kinds of pets that her classmates have. So her classmates, 5 of them have a dog, 7 of them have a cat, 2 have a bird, and 3 classmates have a fish. So we need to finish filling out this bar graph. They started it for us, but we need to finish the job. So we start with the title. Here they put our pets. So that would be a good title for this bar graph because the classmates, we're talking about all of the classmates' pets and what kinds of pets they have. So that's the perfect title for this survey. Now for the categories, we can do number of classmates starting from 0 to 8, because here they have 8 classmates, so we stop at 8. And now the category of animals could be dog, cat, bird, or fish, so we need to put 1 for each on the bottom here. So now that we have the survey completed, well, they kind of helped us complete it here, we can start filling out the information. So 5 classmates have a dog, so here they colored a bar graph that goes all the way up to 5 for the dog. So let's do one for the cat. 7 classmates have a cat, so we need to color in all the way up to 7. So we need to draw a bar just like the first one that goes all the way up to 7. Now for a bird, we have 2 classmates have a bird. So now we can color in a bar here that goes all the way up to 2 for the bird. And for fish, 3 classmates have a fish. So now let's draw the one for the fish, all the way up to the number 3. Great, so now we completed the bar graph. Now we can answer number 1. Write labels and draw bars to complete the graph. Okay, so that's what we just did here. So we went ahead, wrote the labels, so the title, the category, and what kind of animals these are. These are the pets, right? Just like the example up here, Abel, Jane, Kara, and Jamila, those are all children. Dog, cat, bird, and fish, those are all pets. So you would write pet down here. So number 2, how will the graph change if one more child gets a bird? So what's going to be different if one more student, let's say we have a new student, and that student says they have a bird. So how can we change the graph to include that student? Well, we would add another color, another bar here to the color for bird. Since the child has a bird, we need to add one more bird, and that's going to bring us to 3. So how will the graph change if one more child gets a bird? So how can you say that in a sentence, what we just did? So here's an example of how we could say that. The bar for bird will be taller. Whoops, let me add a little more here. Oops. So the bar for the bird will be taller, and please ignore that box, I made a mistake there. So it will end at the line for 3. So this is an example of an answer you could have used. The bar for the bird will be and it will end at the line for 3, which is true. Okay, students, we are now on page 499. On your own now, we're going to complete this page and then come back and I will go over the answers. So here we have information. Dexter asked his classmates which pizza toppings are their favorite, and here's the information that he got. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to complete the bar graph. So here for number 4, for numbers 3 and 4, you're going to have to work on what they gave us here in the green. So this box right here needs to be completed. So for number 3, write the title and labels. Remember, the title goes at the top. There needs to be a label here on the left and a label at the bottom. So 3 total labels. For number 4, you're going to draw the bars in the graph to show the data. So number 4 is asking you to draw the bars, just like we did in the previous examples, and you can find all that information right here on the top. Number 5, which topping did the most classmates choose? So after you've completed the chart, you will be able to see which of these categories of toppings had the most classmates chosen. So number 6, once you've got all of that filled out, number 6, did more classmates choose peppers and olives? So you have to add peppers and olives. So did more classmates choose peppers and olives or meat? So what do you think? More peppers and olives or more meat? And then explain your answer. Which one had more classmates? So pause the video and work on this page now. Alright class, let's go over the answers. So a good title for this, for number 3, the title and labels, a good title could be maybe favorite pizza toppings. And you could have written something like maybe classmates' favorite pizza toppings, or pizza toppings for the class, favorite pizza toppings for my friends. So basically for the classmates. So anything similar to this title would work. Now for this left side, what are these? The olives, mushrooms, meat, and peppers. What are those? Those are types. Those are basically types of toppings, or just toppings would work too. So just toppings, right? And then for the bottom, these are the number of classmates. So that answers number 3. Number 4, draw the bars in the graph to show the data. Okay. So we need to draw bars to show the data. So for peppers, we can see that 4 classmates show peppers. So we have all the way up to 4. And remember, we can do horizontal bar graphs. They could be across or up and down. And for this example, we're going across. So we start at 0 and go all the way to 4. 4 classmates show peppers. 7 classmates chose meat. So let's count all the way up to 7. 5 classmates chose mushrooms, so all the way up to 5. And 2 classmates chose olives. So here we go. We have completed the bar graph. So for number 5, which topping did the most classmates choose? All we have to do is see which bar is the biggest, which is meat, and at 7. So the topping that most classmates chose was meat. Now number 6. Did more classmates choose peppers and olives than meat? And explain. So we need to start by doing some math. We need to add peppers and olives. So 2 plus 4 is going to give us 6. Now is 6 more or less than meat, which is 7? 6 is less than 7, so the answer is no. Four classmates chose pepper. And 2 classmates chose olives. And you can write down the equation if you'd like. And this would mean that 7 classmates chose the meat. So 6 is going to be less than 7. So something like this would be an appropriate answer. Students, we are now on page 500. Problem-solving applications. Cody asked his classmates which zoo animal is their favorite. So this is the information he got after asking his classmates which zoo animal they like the best. So for number 7, use the data to complete the bar graph. Write a title and labels, and then draw the bars. So this is exactly like what we did in the previous problem. So if you can do this on your own, go ahead and attempt it now, and then you can wait for the answers. For the rest of us, let's work on it together. So for number 7, let's complete the data. So what is a good title we can use for this bar graph? Let's start at the title. So Cody asked his classmates which zoo animal is their favorite. So maybe favorite zoo animals? That could be a good title. And now what do these numbers mean here? What do you guys think that number means? That number is going to be the amount of classmates. So we can just write classmates for that left one. And then for the bottom, bear, lion, tiger, and zebra, what are all those things? What can we categorize them as? Those are all animals. So we can write animals for that. Alright, so now we need to complete the bar graph. So using the data that we have here in blue, let's fill out the bar graph. So 6 classmates chose bear. So here's the category for bear, and all we have to do is count up 6. And there we go, we have the bar for bear. Now 4 classmates chose lion, so let's start at 0 and count all the way to 4 for lion. Good. 7 classmates chose tiger, so let's count all the way to 7. And then zebra, 3 classmates chose zebra, so let's count up to 3. All right, we just finished the bar graph. Okay, for number 8, how many fewer classmates chose lion than classmates that chose the other zoo animals? So this is a question that's going to require a little bit of deeper thinking to answer. So it's going to be a little tricky. First thing you need to do is count bear, tiger, and zebra, the total amount for those 3. So we get bear, tiger, and zebra added together. So 6 plus 7 plus 3. 6 plus 7 plus 3. And we are left with 16. And now how many, okay, so hold on, 16 here. So let's go ahead and put the total number excluding the lion. So we have 16. And then how many do we have for lion? We have 4. So we need to subtract 4 from 16. And what does that give us? The answer is 12. So basically 12 fewer classmates chose lion than the other zoo animals. Number 9. Look at the bar graph above. Suppose 2 of Cody's classmates chose zebra instead of bear. Explain how the bar graph would change. So now we have to change some of the data because the classmates changed their answers. So in order to do that, we need to change the bar graph, the information. So 2 of them chose zebra instead of bear. So we need to subtract 2 from bear. So we're going to be left with 4. And we need to add those 2 to zebra because they chose zebra instead. So we need to add 2. There we go. So explain how the bar graph would change. Well, this is how you would explain that. The bar for zebra would go up to 5. The bar for bear would go down to 4. Just like what we did here. Zebra goes up to 5, bear goes down to 4. Alright class, well done on this assignment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.